What's going on, working class hustlers? In this video, we're going to be talking about Amazon repricers. So we're going to be talking about what is a repricer. We're going to be talking about how it works, basically. We're going to go over the one that I use. We're going to talk about my experience with that. And finally, we're going to be talking about should you be using one? And that's going to be very important for you. And we're going to get into it right now. Okay, guys, so like I said, this video is about Amazon repricers, and we're going to be talking about what it is and stuff like that. So let's get right into it. First of all, what is a repricer? A repricer is software that will automatically go out and change the price of your listing on Amazon. And the purpose of that is to make you more competitive. Here's what you may or may not realize. Prices on Amazon are changing all the time. I mean, you're not aware of it, but I mean, a lot of people are using repricers. There are people that are going out and manually changing their prices for different reasons, but in most cases, it's to be competitive. And as you grow, you know, when you first start, you may only have a few listings and you can just kind of go out there and manually see what's going on. But eventually, as you grow, you get into the hundreds or even into the thousands of listings. And there's just no way that you could physically go out and make those changes. And that's where software comes in handy. So the way that it works is this. The software, you'll be able to basically link the software up with your Amazon account. You're going to have to give the software the permission to and the access to your Amazon account, and then it will go out and make the changes based on certain parameters, based on certain rules that you've set, and that's pretty much the way it works. Why would you be using a repricer? Well, the bottom line is this. If you use a repricer, you're going to experience more sales. That's just the bottom line. You know, when I first got into this, it was pretty much a set it and forget it type of strategy that I would use. In other words, I would just, you know, at the time that I sourced the product, I set the price then, and I never changed it. And I'd let it sit maybe 3 months. And after about 90 days, if it didn't move, then I would just worry about, okay, let's get rid of it. Let's price it to get it out of here. That was my repricing strategy right there in a nutshell. But as I grew, that just wasn't going to work anymore. So, and I'll tell you another thing, I follow people that are better than me. And so please excuse me, that's a siren in my neighborhood going off. Something's going on. So we'll just kind of work around that. I apologize for that. I actually started and stopped this video because that siren went off before. It's just not going to work because I have to go to work. Okay. Sorry about that. But what I was saying was, you know, I tend to follow people that are better than me so that I can get better. And on that note, let's take a quick look at my Amazon account. And here's what we're going to notice. Number one, we're going to notice that so far, because today is June the 30th, the year is 2020, and it looks like we've sold 9 items unless it's been updated. It has not. So we've sold 9 items with a total of for a total of $202.88. And here you can see what we've done in the last 7 days, 15 days, 30 days. Just to give you an idea of where I'm at. I'm probably on pace to do a couple hundred, like $200,000 in total revenue for the year. And that's an increase. But here's what I want you to look at. Okay, so if you look at the last 7 days, and we'll click on that, and then we'll click here. And here you're looking at a kind of like a snapshot. You're looking at today. And like we said, we've sold 9 units for $202.88. Yesterday, by the end of day, it was 28 units for $617.44. Now look at same day last week. By the end of day, 24 units for 367. So we had just about the same number of units, but it didn't bring in as much. It just depends on what's going on with those items. Okay, because you can sell less items and actually have more revenue. It depends on the pricing on the items that sell, right? But here's where you really want to pay attention. You look at same day last year. By the end of day, we had only sold 8 units for $165.56. So my point is this. Here's my point with this, guys. You look at the difference between what we did yesterday by end of day and what we did that same day last year by end of day. It's quite a difference. And so how did that happen? Well, you know, this is life. It's never one thing. A lot of times we always want to know, well, what did you do? It's not one thing. It's a combination of things. But you have to understand what you still have to go over. What were those things? And some of them were major things. Some of them were not. And I can tell you, using a repricer was a major thing. Okay. And we'll get into, like I said, we're going to cover whether or not you should be using one. But let's take a look at the one that I use. So the repricer that I use is called Aura. Okay, so all you have to do is go to goAura.com. Now I do have a link in the description. There are different repricers out there. You don't have to use Aura, but I am an affiliate, and I can tell you what I love about this software mostly is the nerd Dylan, the guy who created this software. He is such a nerd. I mean, the way he thinks, this is the kind of guy I want on my team. I mean, he thinks, he overthinks, and he's just a nerd. And the way he's developed his strategy is like, I never would have thought of it. I mean, usually when you think about repricers, you think about your price coming down, down, down until it sells. This guy studies, and he figured if you start going down and then jump back up, I mean, he's got all of these algorithms and junk in his head, and you might be asking, okay, let me just get to something that I did not cover. Amazon Seller Central has a repricer in their software, so you can use their repricer. But you got to check it out, because the way I understand it, Amazon's repricer focuses on taking you down. It does not focus on bringing you back up. And then you have to understand there's kind of a conflict of interest. At the end of the day, Amazon's getting their money. They're getting you for 15% regardless. They ain't worried about it. So what they are worried about is their customer. I think they're more focused on bringing the price down so that they could give that to their customer. They're going to pass on deeper discounts off of your back. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's business. They should be doing that. But I kind of like a standalone third-party deal, because I think you're going to end up with a product that's more interested in your bottom line. Okay. So we'll go back to the software, and what we'll do is briefly kind of go over it without making this video too long. And they do have, it's free when you first start up. I think you get 15 days. You might even get 30 days. I just forget. One thing I want to say about this software, it's not difficult at all. It is not difficult. Basically, the way it works is this. There's just a couple of steps you want to do. Number one, you want to get your Aura account synced, with Amazon. So Amazon is the marketplace, and the way Aura kind of has the process set up, you want to connect your marketplace with Aura. Once you connect, Aura goes out and it takes all of your inventory and it puts it into Aura so that you can work with it. Now, once the inventory is out there, now the way the software works is you have to create a strategy. So you got to tell the software, hey, what do you want? So you'll see as we go into it, and you guys already know if you follow me, my strategy is I'm okay with a 20% return on investment or higher. Now, what's great about Aura, and this may be in other repricers, I don't know any other ones, but you can set up multiple strategies. So some products I may want a different minimum return on investment, and you can assign those to individual products. And then once you get that done, you have to, there may be some things that you need to add. For example, the software needs to know what is the minimum price or what is the minimum ROI. It may need to know what is the maximum price. Initially, it's going to need to know what cost. What did you pay for the product? Because it's got to know the basis. It's got to know, okay, are we making a profit or not? So there are ways to do that in bulk. But that's it. Once you get it set, it's done. And it integrates with other software, as we'll go and demonstrate. So let me tell you what, let me get situated here. We're gonna come over to my Aura account. Okay, so here we are in my Aura account, and this is the dashboard. You can see along the left hand margin, you really don't have that much that you have to be concerned with. It's not that much. It's simple, so we don't need to make it hard. Okay, here you can see I have my alerts, but right in your overview, you can see the amount of revenue that has come in the last 30 days. You can look at your profit. You can see your cost. And so from there, and the units sold, and then you can see your profit margin. Now this is showing me that a little bit may be inaccurate because some of the orders that came in were missing costs. Now here I fixed that, but that needs to be updated. But look at, you can see the number of listings that are at your minimum price, the number that are sitting at your maximum price, the numbers that are currently being repriced. I mean, there's a lot of activity. I'm going to show you that. Which ones are sitting in the buy box at the lowest price. And I mean, it's who got knocked out of the buy box, buy box winners. I mean, that's pretty much it. Then this one will show all of your listings. This one talks about your strategies. Now remember, I named my strategy buy box, but I could have more strategies out here. So here you can see the marketplace. Like I said, it's Amazon. This is the return on investment. And then you have the number of listings that are assigned. Okay. Then you can actually look at the pricing activity. This is where you can see how things have been moving. So here you can see, look at the price changes. You can see that negative means it was dropping by a penny, by a couple of pennies. You can see all of these prices. And then look at here. Look at this one. This one jumped up $3.93. So you need a repricer that's not just going to drop your price. What if things change? Maybe somebody sells out. Now it can jump up. Or maybe look at, here we go again, jumped up $1.05. So you want a product that's going to actually move you around up and down. Okay. And like I said, if you want to study Dylan and see his whole process behind it, I mean, he's got a system where he's pretty much tested. If you keep dropping, and there may be 3 or 4 of you on a listing, and you keep dropping, and then you raise your price, everybody looks around and goes, hey, and then they raise their price. It's kind of weird, but it actually works. So we're going to come over and look at a couple more things. It's not much more to really look at. Here we come over to marketplaces, and you can see I have the Amazon marketplace. Repricing is on, managed is on. That's pretty straightforward. Now look at under integrations. You have, I'm integrated with Inventory Lab. Man, oh man, we must have a bad fire, boy. It's just a lot going on. I'm sorry about that. But here's what you got to understand. You guys seen where I talk about Inventory Lab. See, what you want to do, and I talked about this before, what you want is a system where you can streamline, because you're always trying to figure out, ways to make your work easier. Okay, so if you're already listing, for example, in my case, I'm already listing items in Inventory Lab. Well, right in Inventory Lab, you can put your minimums, your maximums, and you can have that automatically going out to Aura. So you have all of this is happening automatically. And Dylan, the guy that created this software, is such a nerd, and one of the things that he loves is automation. He wants as little as possible that you have to do. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, the way it works, guys. I will tell you this. The software is simple. You may not know exactly where to start, but I can show you when you get the software. Look at this. He teaches you everything. So for example, you'll get an email that shows you how to do bulk importing, because you have to have your cost, and basically he'll show you how to do it. And another thing that's good is he's got training videos that'll show you how to create an effective repricing strategy. You're going to need that. If you need help, there's a full guide to walk you through everything. And another thing about it, he will actually schedule. I'm talking about Dylan himself will schedule some time with you and make sure that you get the help that you need if you're stuck. I have used the help. There's a little chat that you can ask questions, and they're very responsive. They're reasonable with their time. So yeah, that's what I can tell you about that. Now, here's what we got to look at here. We're going to go over my experience with the Repricer. Now, I've had the Repricer right around the middle of May. I started using it. And right away, I can tell you, my sales jumped up easily 30-35%. I mean, immediate. Now, eventually, it levels out, okay? But I tell you what, when you start using a Repricer, you're really in the mix. And what the benefit is, your inventory starts moving faster. And that's another thing I like about Dylan. He got me to start thinking different. Instead of focusing like a beginner and worried about that one product and how much am I getting on that one product, he got me to start thinking like a business person. Hey, how quick can I get that money out of the inventory? It's not doing me any good. It's actually hurting me. Tied up. The money is tied up in inventory. How quick can we get it back? He got me to thinking, you know what? It doesn't have to be 100% return on investment. It doesn't have to be 50% return on investment. It can be 15, it can be 20. But when you're looking at the big picture, you need to keep that inventory moving. The faster things happen, the faster you can continue to advance your business. So, that's what I want to say. And the final question is, should you be using a repricer? And let me say something real quick before I answer that question for you, based on my opinion. I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. But here's the reason why. I don't just tell you, oh, subscribe to this channel. There has to be a reason why. Now, we looked at my numbers, right? Here's the deal. You gotta, I'm not just gonna throw stuff out here at you. You have to understand how to think this through. Okay? If you look at the numbers that I'm doing, okay? Let me pull something up real quick. So if we look at what we have done year to date, okay? You look at what we've done year to date. This year, we've done $103,003.32. Now here we are at the end of June. So we're halfway through the year, and we have already caught what we did for the entire year last year. Okay? Pretty much. The question is this: do you want to subscribe to this channel? If you're already at this level or higher, maybe not. It just depends. You probably could still benefit from it. But if you're not doing revenue in the hundreds of thousands, see, because you can see at this rate, we're probably going to go 200,000. So if you're not doing hundreds of thousands a year, think about what I'm about to tell you here, because I'm doing it. If you're not doing that, how are you going to start to do that? If you want to get your Amazon business to the hundreds of thousands level, six-figure money, and you're not there now, how are you going to do it? Because it's just like Einstein said, the thinking that got you to where you are right now cannot get you to the next level. Let me try this my way. The thinking that got you to where you are, the level that you're on right now, that thinking does not possess the thinking to take you to the next level. If it could, you would already be at this level. I'm talking to the people who are watching this video right now who are not doing six-figure money. If you're not, how are you going to do it? Because the thinking that got you where you are, maybe you're in the hundreds. Maybe you're doing a few hundred a month. And I'm doing 15, 16, 17,000 a month. How are you going to get there? Because the thinking that you have got you to where you are, but it can't get you any higher. That is the reason why you would want to subscribe to this channel, so that you could develop my level of thinking. Let me break this down, and I'm going to try to keep this short. I know I preach. The way it works is this. See, thoughts become things, okay? And how does that happen? How do thoughts become things? Well, thoughts lead to action. And if you keep taking that action, then you form a habit. And it is the habits that actually take you somewhere, okay? I'm doing hundreds of thousands because I have developed the habits that will get me to the hundreds of thousands. But if I want to get to seven-figure money, the thinking that I have right now can't get me there. That's not going to happen. That's why I study people that are better than me. That's why I subscribe to channels that are better than me. You see what I'm saying? If you decide to subscribe to the channel, and that would be because you're getting value so that you get to my level, then hit the bell notification, because we upload every Thursday, every Friday, and we go live on Saturday. That's another reason that you want to subscribe to the channel, because you know We're not saying, well, subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when we, nope. We're saying subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified every Thursday, every Friday, and every Saturday without fail, because that's how we do it. So you already know the value that you're going to get right off the bat. And we just, as I grow, this channel's been out there going on 3 years, and I've taken you from the grassroots, from when I started. I've never been ashamed to be transparent, to show you my wins, my losses. I don't know everything, and I hope one of the main things I want to convey to you is that you don't have to know everything. You just have to keep going. You don't know what you don't know, okay? So let's see here. Now that I'm done with all of my ranting, should you be using a repricer? Let me put it to you like this. I think you should be using one if you're ready for it. How do you know that you're ready for it? If you're at the point where you just physically cannot go through and manually reprice every day, because trust me, it's going to take you, when you get to a certain level, you're going to have to put an hour, 2 hours into repricing. When it gets to that level, you're ready, because you literally cannot. The price changes that you saw in my Aura back office, the amount of price changing that's going on. There's no way you could do it. I mean, this thing is updating literally seconds. It's just updating things. So here's the deal. Look at it like this. When you get to the level where you physically cannot keep up with all of your items, all of your listings, and do the repricing manually, we're going to look at it like racing. At that point, you're running NASCAR. You qualify. So every NASCAR race, you're in the circuit, but you ain't going to never finish respectably. You can't, because you don't have a pit crew. Imagine qualifying for NASCAR, and every race you have no pit crew. So you pull into the pit and you get out and you change your tires and you do all of this stuff. You fuel in the windshield and you keep qualifying, but you never finish the race respectively, because you don't have a team to help you do the necessary things that have to happen during the race. Okay, that is what happens when you don't use a repricer, but you're at a level where you pretty much you qualify. So at that point, you need that pit crew. And I can tell you from my experience, the minute I put that pit crew on board, things changed drastically. Now, eventually, like I said, it levels off, but I would not go without one at this point. I couldn't see it happening, because I'm aware of the value of it. And if we look at the pricing on that, let me see if I can find that. If we come down to pricing, yeah, it's $97 a month, no commitment, personal onboarding and setup, up to 50,000 listings. I mean, that's not bad. You could pay, like next time, I'll go ahead and pay for the whole year and save that 20%, because I might as well, because I'm not gonna go without it now. So that's my take on repricers, guys. And I hope you got value out of this. If you did, please give it a like, a thumbs up, share it. And if you have any questions, if there's anything I did not cover, leave a comment. If you know something better, if there's something that I could have done better, if there's something you'd like to share with the working class hustlers out here, please do not hesitate. So why don't we move on to the next video and just kind of follow me there. We'll see you.